Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to brownstoneworldwide.com. It's your girl Paulette, and right next to me is if we over here, yep, over there. You ready? Oh, hey,
Your
Cullen, how are
family is telling. How y'all doing today? Doing
you?
well?
All right, all right, all right. Y'all, guess what this is? Welcome to Brownstone's Best, which is our series for the month of August because this is the official month of Black History, not Black History, but Black Philanthropy Month and Black Business Month. And so the entire month of August, we have been interviewing some amazing Black businesses, and we're going to be sharing their stories, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all throughout the rest of the year. So we're excited to get started. We have an amazing young lady that is going to be coming to talk to you guys about her business. She's actually in the realty business. She's a real estate advisor. So you guys, we're going to be bringing to you today Princess Jones. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we are sharing her story. So listen, you guys, Princess Jones has over 13 years of results-driven management experience. She's disciplined and passionate about advocating intelligently and assertively on behalf of her clients. Her natural ability to lead and problem solve allows you to feel confident and relaxed during your home buying or selling experience. Princess is a reliable, honest, and professional realtor that cares about every client. Her passion is driven by the satisfaction that she gains by helping people achieve their dreams. And we all know what dream we're talking about, the American dream that so many people are hoping to attain or to get a second one. You know what I mean? All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to bring to you Princess Jones. Let's go ahead and bring her on and let's start the conversation, shall
Hello,
we?
hello.
Hey, how are you? So good to have you on.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. So, Princess, we're excited to have you, and we always love to hear amazing stories. So, when I saw that you had been in business for 13 years, I looked at you and said, "You 13." So,
Yes,
first
you
of all,
did.
Black Don't Crack, you look amazing. You're fabulous. You're beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us once again today. Listen, let's cut to the chase. It's a lot going on in real estate right now. And I
Yes, it
see
is.
here that you say that you are a real estate investor. Let's talk about that. What is that advisor? What does that mean for me?
Yes, so I like to consider myself an advisor. I'm still, yes, technically I'm an agent. However, I focus on education. Whenever I speak with my clients, whether you're on the selling side or the buying side, I really want to make sure that you feel as safe and knowledgeable as possible as you navigate probably the biggest purchase you're going to make in your lifetime. So that's really
Mhm.
important to me. So, and I also know I mean, you talked about being real. Let's be real. A lot of people don't trust realtors, right?
Mm,
There's this notion that we're out to just quickly get a dollar. Let me find this person this place so I can make this money real fast. When in reality, what we are truly supposed to do is make sure that our customers and our clients see us as educators, as teachers. So that's
mm.
what I want to focus on, is how do you see me as someone who's going to educate you and make you more knowledgeable by the end of our time working together.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's talk about that. I heard you say we don't trust realtors.
A lot of people don't, unfortunately.
Really? Why is that?
Well, unfortunately, we do have some agents in the business who don't, I don't think it's something that happens intentionally.
Mhm.
They don't understand specifically. Let's talk about Wisconsin because that's where I am
Okay.
licensed. And because I am licensed there, I have to speak specifically to that place. So
Okay.
in Wisconsin, it's a limited practice of law. We have to understand the contracts that are associated because we can actually walk through and help our clients navigate them.
Okay.
We're not lawyers, we're not attorneys, but we can help them navigate through a contract to pursue real property. And so a lot of agents don't take the time to learn and understand the contracts. And so they're out and they're just opening doors. I do more than open a door for someone. I go out there, I make sure they understand the house. I make sure they understand the contracts that they're involving themselves with. So it doesn't feel like they actually feel like, you know what, she cares about me. She cares about what's happening as I do this. And it's not just because I don't want people to see me that way. It's because I truly deep down want people to know and understand that this is how realtors are supposed to operate. This is how we're supposed to operate. We operate with your best interests at heart, not our own. And there's a lot involved in that. And so I'm not just going to go and show anyone a house. I'm not just going to go and open the door for you. I have standards. I have processes. I have things in place to make sure that you are protected and I am protected. Because you can get sued in this business real fast. And I don't want to be that person.
Got it.
Princess, how do you gain that trust of your potential buyers? Because I know sometimes it's really difficult, especially if you're coming behind someone that kind of messed up and they still need that person, but they're kind of looking at you sideways. So how do you gain that trust?
Yeah, so a part of my process is I sit down and I have a 45-minute to an hour. It usually goes about an hour and 15 minutes because my clients usually have a lot of questions. But before I do anything, before I show you a property, before we do anything, that I'm sitting down with you and I'm understanding every single thing about you, the person. So I ask questions that people are like, why is she asking me this? But at the end of the day, it makes sense why I'm asking you that. You may not understand why I'm telling you to sniff the air when I'm showing you a house. You may not understand why I'm telling you to listen to what's happening around you when I show you a house. You may not understand those things, but I have this meeting with you because I want you to understand this is my process. This is why it works. There's a certain level of transparency that occurs. I'm very straightforward. I'm very honest. And I make sure that they know what to expect. This is the market we're in. This is what you can expect when you write an offer. This is what you can expect when we go do a showing. This is what you can expect here. Yes, unknowns occur. However, I want to ensure that, you know as much as possible beforehand. And people feel safe in that. Everyone does. When we walk into something known, you feel a lot more comfortable than walking into darkness. You have no idea what to expect, what's going on, what do I do, what do I say, where am I supposed to be? You feel a lot more comfortable when you know what's coming. So I like to let them know what's coming before we.
Perfect.
Okay. So, question for you then in this process, because we can sit here and we can talk about realty and what you do in real estate, but let's talk about the stuff behind the stuff. I am curious, why real estate? What made you decide, you just woke up one morning and you were like, I want to be a real estate agent. Was that how it worked?
No, that is not what happened.
Okay,
no,
what happened?
So I worked for a retail conglomerate for 11 years of my life that I just did not feel represented, one, what I truly felt about the consumer experience, and also I wanted to do something that I was able to help people on a grander scale. I was helping people in a way that was meaningful. Don't get me wrong. I was helping people in a way that was meaningful, but it wasn't buying a house. It wasn't as meaningful as being able to help someone achieve something they've always wanted to, they never thought was possible. So when I left, I was looking for alternative work. I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I was applying to work at somebody's bank. I was applying to work in project management. No experience in that, but I feel like much I can't do if I really put my head to it. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I ended up speaking with a mentor of mine, which everyone, no matter what level of life you are in, should have a mentor. A mentor of mine had mentioned that, I should consider real estate. And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to work in a 100% commission line of work. I just don't want to do that. I don't want my actions, what I do, solely to be the determining factor of how much money I bring in. I did not want that. And after speaking with her and after doing a couple personality tests, she said, you should do this. And that's how I landed at my real estate brokerage. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the process. I fell in love with learning what was involved. And I fell in love with the relationships, the potential for relationships because that's so important to me. I fell in love with the relationships, and I'm like, this is it. I get to do so many of the things that I love. I'm the sales manager for my team, so I train all the new agents that come onto my team. So I get to teach. I wanted to be a teacher. I get to teach. I get to create bonds and relationships with people. I get to meet new people all the time through networking. I get to learn every single day. There is no day that I am not learning something new.
Wow. So let's talk about this excitement. Listen. She for real, y'all. Look. I don't know if you all know this. She's excited by just talking about it.
Twinkle in eye, I'm telling you.
Yes. I was going to say, she done perked up. Honey, you see all the early whites. Listen. Oh, my goodness. I love it. Okay.
So as a Black woman, how did your experience, how has your experience been as a Black business owner and a Black woman?
Fortunately, I've been surrounded by some amazing Black women in this business. I mean,
wonderful.
I have had some of the most beautiful, most genuine people who are willing to share, share their insight with me and their experiences. And, I've had my issues, with, out showing homes and people telling me I don't belong where I am. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
However, I've always remained as stoic as possible. I keep a leveled head, and I just try to ensure that I am educating the individual who's in my space as much as possible. But I've had the most amazing people in my space, of all, and then I've brought on people that look like me into spaces that aren't necessarily as dark as I am. So it's important to me to bring on people who look like me and understand what it means to be in this business.
Perfect. I feel that. Absolutely. So curious for you. I have a question, and this is something we kind of talked about as our prep. Black business owners, Black businesses. I am curious. We see this a lot, and I have asked this of every person that we have interviewed. What was your strategy? What is your strategy? That's the first question that I have, because in business, there has to be a strategy. We just can't throw noodles against the wall and hope something sticks. And so in your journey as a Black business owner and as a Black woman in the realty business, knowing all of the things that I've been reading about redlining and what's happening with people who are having their homes appraised and all of that stuff. Listen, so that sounds like a multi-question there, and it kind of is, because I'm curious to know for myself personally and for others, what is your strategy? Are you word of mouth? Do people just pass their card on to someone that they may know? That's one. And then the other thing is once you get this opportunity to connect with people and so forth, how do you stay connected to the people as they go through their process? And for your growth of your business, do you stay connected throughout the life cycle of your experience with them? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Everything you asked made sense. I'm trying to make sure I remember everything you said. So
it's all good. I'll repeat it again.
Yep. So I do have a strategy. So you had started talking initially when you asked the question. You asked if I had a strategy with regard to understanding all the things that are happening in the business with regard to redlining, et cetera. So I just want to start off by letting you know that I made the decision. I made the decision right away that I would not be silent on things that are problematic within our community. On my social media, in the spaces that I'm in, which are predominantly white, I will not be silent on those things, and I will make sure that the people in my spaces know that this is problematic. So I've never been afraid to speak up on those things. If it makes them uncomfortable. That's one thing about me. I am okay with making people uncomfortable.
Love that.
I typically have a really great way of doing it. I ask questions. I encourage dialogue. I'm not attacking you, but I will hold you to account. So I do bring those things up. I let my team know and the people in my space know, like, hey, this is a problem. Yes, no, we don't technically have redlining, but we have redlining in if you want to really be real with it, they just do it in other ways. right? You still have problematic language in deeds. And, like there's a lot of things that people just don't talk about because they don't want to talk about it. So my strategy there is to just I speak up in these spaces. I'm also, so Milwaukee just started a chapter of National Association of Real Estate Brokers. I am involved in NARAB. Right now, it's still new in Milwaukee. It's not new at all. But it's Milwaukee, and of course, I am a part of that organization. And our goal is to make sure that we, of course, a part of that is educating people about what's going on and making sure that we fight for people of color regarding real estate practices and so on and so forth. So I make sure that I get involved however I can to ensure that we are actually progressing in this field. So that's my strategy regarding that. My strategy regarding customers and ensuring that I stay connected with them. I think that's the next question you asked.
Yes.
So I do have a platform where I keep all of my customers, my clients. I'll say clients because I don't really work with customers, and I can tell you the difference between the two. A customer is someone in Wisconsin. If we're talking about a customer, I haven't signed an agreement with them where I am officially saying that I work for them, so they are hiring me. So I'm an independent contractor, which means I provide a service according to the terms of the contract given, right? And in this case, if I'm working with the buyer signs an agreement to hire me, I am technically their employee in that time period of that contract. Goes for a seller. So whenever I'm working with my clients, I input them in a system to help me remember all of these things because it's important for people to feel important. Yearly, I send out things to my clients. I try to talk to them at least twice a year. I text them here and there. And I just set reminders for myself so they know how important they are because it is important to me. And it's a lot of them. So I can't remember everyone. So I have to have them in a system. I have to have them in a platform. So that's how I stay in contact. And I usually send out gift cards. I like handwritten letters because I like personal notes. I personally
look at you. Okay.
I send handwritten notes, handwritten letters. And I do my best to let them know that I remember them and that I care about them. Some of them I follow on social media, not all of them. Some of them have social media and we stay in contact that way as well. But I do, even if we are contacts on social media, I do also ensure that I send them my lovely handwritten letters with a cute little note and a gift card, whether that's Starbucks or somewhere. I just want them to know that I love them, and because I really do. I adore all of my clients. I've been blessed to have some of the most amazing clients. I mean, they are amazing. And I do know that also has to do with the fact that I choose my clients. And a lot of people don't like that I say this, but I don't work with just anybody. And I won't work with just anybody because this work that we do is very stressful. We deal with contracts. We deal with I have to manage emotions and all of these things. So I like to make sure that, if I'm working with someone, I want to make sure that this person is someone that is going to be humble enough to understand they don't know it all.
Right.
I am there to guide them and help them. And if you listen, you don't have to listen to me very long to understand that I'm actually trying to direct you the right way. So if I involve myself with someone, and I'm speaking from experience because I've worked with people who were terrible to me and who were terrible to people in their space. And so, I'm learning from experience, like, Princess, you really have to do a better job at picking your client. Work with everyone, because in the beginning of this business, you're like, I got to get a deal. You want to do it the right way, but I got to get a deal. So you work with this person, and this person may not speak to you the right way, or they may not. Maybe they aren't hearing what you're saying, or they're not following your directions, or they're making up stories that aren't accurate because they misunderstood, and then maybe you didn't explain something right. So there's so much involved. But I choose my clients.
Wow.
I love that.
Yes.
I just think that's so wonderful.
They choose me, and I'm not saying that I'm like, the great Ebog, whatever person. I'm not the most. Well, I am the most amazing.
I mean,
part.
So but seriously, they choose me as well, and I am honored every single time. I mean, I promise you guys, I have some of the most amazing clients.
I love that.
The personal touches that you say you do, those things speak volumes. You know,
Yeah,
you can just get business just on word of mouth, just from those little
Mm-hmm.
touches.
and
Absolutely.
I have.
Yeah.
So last year, we talk about metrics. I keep metrics. I like to understand my numbers and know so I can. So what happened this year, so I can do better next year. What happened this week, so I can do better next week.
That's right.
How many phone calls did you make, Princess? How many people did you talk to? How many appointments did you set? Et cetera, et cetera. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. It's important for me to ensure that that my metrics are right, so that when I do those little touches, that I'm remembering, okay, I did this, I did that for this person. Okay, I did this for this person. So I'm not forgetting those things, and I know what's happening. And so because I know my metrics, I know last year, 95% of my business came from referrals.
Wow.
95% of my business came from referrals.
That is crazy. So wait a minute. So that speaks volumes, right? That tells me that you are good at your craft and you care about your customers, because they wouldn't refer you if you were not up to snuff with those people.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's rare.
So
they love me. They write good things about me too.
I see. 95% refer. So listen, I'm about to dig a little deep here. I am curious about a couple of things. We've talked about this on previous broadcasts, and I am over the Instagram, social media. Everybody is looking great, fabulous, long hair, don't care, eyelashes all the way out here like you flying, standing outside. I'm a real estate investor. And that's not to say that they are not really that successful. But I would love to know from your perspective, your truth, right? So what was it like when you got your first deal? Did you set a goal for yourself? How was it when you realized that you had to, first of all, if you're working on total commission, what was that like, getting that first check and then knowing that might be the only check you're going to have for a little while? Right? Unless, of course, you had other deals that were in the coffers coming down the pipe. Right.
No. So fortunately, I joined a team that really helped me understand a lot of the principles that I'm speaking right now. They taught me how to track my numbers. They taught me how to go after business. They taught me how to get on the phone and speak with people. They taught me these things. So I did a lot of learning at the very front end. It was a 30-day boot camp is what they called it. So yes, and we still do it. I just lead it now.
Okay, I see you, girl.
So they we go through this rigorous training, and they prepared me very much for what happens when I'm in the business, when I have to do it. So when I first started the business, I was not very prepared. I did it. I knew I was going to do it. I received my license, and then I did my boot camp, and I knew that I needed to make money right away. I'm like, all right, in the next 30 days, I need to have a client, at least two clients, and I need to have 2 deals. And I need them closed at this time period. And because I had no money. I had $1,000 in my bank account when I left my previous job to go into real estate. The worst decision I ever made in my life.
Wow.
To have that little bit of money when I'm going into a business where it takes so much time to get yourself ramped up.
Got it.
And I'm going into a business where most people quit at before the 2-year mark.
Wow.
Right? So for me, it's like, looking back, I would have never started this business with only $1,000 in my bank account, because not just that, I only had $1,000 in my bank account, but then I also had to take on my 2 younger sisters. Now, Miss Paulette, Cullen, I don't have children. I don't have my own children. Okay, that's by choice. Okay.
Okay.
But I had to take on my younger sisters, who at the time were 12 and 8. So here I am, a
Mm.
single woman on an income that was fine beforehand, but now I have $1,000 in my bank account. And I have to figure out how to make things work with 2 young girls,
Wow.
And myself. So it was extremely hard, and it was it was terrifying. It was terrifying.
Wow.
I tell anyone coming into this business, try to have 6 months of income saved up beforehand.
Okay.
Get yourself a nice cushion before you start, because you want to make sure that you aren't just jumping in, and because it's not a quick dollar. It is this, contrary to what people believe. You don't get in this business and immediately just start making money. Like, oh, yep.
Because that's the lie we hear.
Yeah, definitely.
And for some people you do. Some people have a wealth of referrals from outside. They have a huge sphere of influence, and they have people who own all these houses who are looking to buy, but they oftentimes don't look like us. So when we're coming into this business, when I came into this business, I did have a sphere of influence, but my sphere of influence wasn't quite ready to pursue real estate yet.
Okay.
Right. A lot, my sphere of influence wasn't ready. And this isn't to say y'all should have been ready. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's the fact. They just were not ready to buy a home. They didn't know anybody who was ready to sell a home or ready to buy. Right. So some people are fortunate enough where they come in this business and they have business right away. But that's usually not the case. You really have to work hard for your business. You have to work hard for referrals. You have to work hard for the people to trust in you to handle this huge transaction for you.
Yeah.
So, for me, I got in and I moved quickly. I had my first 2 clients in 30 days, but then the transaction doesn't close for another 30 to 60 days. So I'm 90 days.
How did you eat? Yeah.
I'm 90 days out before I see anything. Right. It was the grace of God that I had I had a church family that helped. I had the agents in the office at that time were amazing. The support, I had an amazing support system. I mean, my family, my mom, my brothers, some of the most amazing, my best friend, some of the most amazing people in my space who really helped me and guided me. My brother was huge. He was instrumental in helping me with my sisters. Helped me manage my time. My mom, my sister, my mom, my best friend, my sister-in-law, all helping me with cash or whatever I needed. I needed the help because I have 2 young girls, and a new business. Right? So even without those girls, it would have been a struggle, because $1,000 for 90 days, my rent was $1,000. What do you mean?
Right. Yeah.
I must figure out a way to make this work. If it weren't for the support system that I had and my faith in God, I never would have been able to move forward in this business.
Wow.
I hope I answered your question. I just realized
you did. You absolutely did. Absolutely. That was amazing. And I appreciate you for sharing your truth, because like I said earlier, when we did our prep call, one of the things that I find to be not so much disconcerting, but I think a little bit dishonest, is we're not hearing the story that you just told, right? We see what happens after the fact. And sometimes even that is a lie. Okay. And so we have a tendency to want to gravitate towards the people that we believe are literally out here balling out. And so we want to give our money to them people, thinking that that's going to help us to ball out, when in reality, they trying to figure out how A and B going to equal C, and all they doing is waving at each other. They're not even connecting. Things are not meeting. And so thank you so much for your honesty on that, because I think that people really need to hear the truth about what it's like building a business. I don't care what color you are. And Cullen, you and I can attest to that. How long we've been working on this?
Been working
and
on
the ebbs and the flows, ebbs and the flows, and all of this other stuff, and the excitement of getting there, and then deciding, well, maybe this isn't it, and then you said 90 days, and then you gotta wait, and you got babies you're trying to feed, even though they were your sisters, they still babies, and they're looking to you because they need somebody to guide them along, and then you got all of that, and now here you are. years later, reputable in your field. So, what would you say to someone who would come to you as a mentee seeking advice?
Who wants to get into the business?
Oh, absolutely.
The first thing that I said, just make sure you have money prepared. Have 6 months.
Okay.
Have 6 months cash reserves if you can.
Yeah.
We should have that anyway, regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I think I would have to say, read, be a constant learner. You don't know what you know what you don't know. So we should always be a constant learner. For me, I had to learn to humble myself and just start to listen. And just hear what people are saying. And the biggest thing I've learned, and the biggest piece of advice that I would give anybody coming into this business, is that you are going to fail. It's okay. Fail and fail faster. Because the faster you fail, the more quickly you're going to be able to learn from those failures and then move forward. Wow. Because I tell my agents too all the time, they get on the phones and like, she hung up on me. Yeah, that's going to happen. They're going to hang up on you. Call the next person. Call them back and say this. Call this person. Don't give up. Continue to, because you'll learn how to eventually, you know what to say when this person hangs up on you and call. You wouldn't have known that if you didn't fail. If that person did not hang up on you, you wouldn't know what to say to this person when you call them back. Now you know what to say when you call this person back after they've hung up, right? If this person, you had a phone conversation and they said something to you and they asked you a question you didn't know, and you had to refer out, right? Next time you'll know. And you'll be able to pursue that person with confidence, right? So it's important to me. I failed a lot in this business. I made a lot of failures. And as a person who is a perfectionist, I like things to be in order. I like to do things ethically. I like to do things honestly. Failing does not feel good to me, but I also recognize and understand that it has to happen. Because also, oftentimes in failure, we become what? Frustrated. And what happens in frustration? You have to figure out how to move now. Now it's like, okay, I'm frustrated. I can't just sit in this frustration. I got to figure out what to do next.
Right.
So that's why failures happen. Failure will happen. When it does,
absolutely,
just move past it. Figure out a way to move past it as quickly as you can.
That's some great advice. Now, my question, I know this happens a lot. You hear whenever you start a business and wherever you start doing things on your own and you're trying to grow your business, they always say that, you get more support from the people that don't know you than the people that know you. How do you, does that bear some truth to that? Like, how have you dealt with that?
Yeah, I obviously can't speak for other people, but for me, that has not been the case. I have had the most amazing support system, which I mentioned before. There have been people, friends on my Facebook page who are referring people. I've never even worked with these people, and they're referring people to me. And I know these people from high school who've come to me and asked for my advice and have shared my business page. Hey, can I hand your card out here? Like, okay, these are people that I know. So, I'm not Jesus. I didn't have a problem in my hometown.
Right. Okay.
I get it. And I understand that. And yes, I have had a lot of success. I've had a lot of success with people in my sphere, and I've had a lot of success with people outside of it. I can't relate to that. And I'm grateful. And I know that that's been others' experiences, their experience, but me personally, can't relate.
Awesome.
That's a testament to you. So congratulations on that.
Definitely. Absolutely. So listen, let's continue with the conversation of words of advice for those people, for those of us in this entrepreneurial world, or those of us who want to get into being a business owner. What words of advice would you give people? Because I heard this once. On a podcast that I was listening to. I think the gentleman's name was Neil DeViso, young brother. And he is killing the game right now. He's knocking it out of the park in terms of providing services and helping people to build their business and so forth. He said something that kind of stuck with me, and I'm going to toss this one out at you and see what your thoughts are. So he said that when he started his business, he had two options. Either it was going to work or it was going to work.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
So in that, what words of advice would you give someone who's looking to open a business?
Yeah, I first I would have to agree with that gentleman. You have, and because I think that speaks to his mindset. It speaks to the fact that he was ready and willing to pursue his business, and there was nothing that was going to keep him from doing it. He said, "I'm going to. If it doesn't work, then it has to work, right? Like if there is nothing that's going to keep him from pursuing it." So, I wholeheartedly agree with him. I knew once I got into this, I'm a committed individual. I knew that this was something I wanted to do. There were times where I was like, maybe I need to consider other things, like during that time when my little sisters were with me, where I'm like, maybe I should be doing something else because of them. Maybe I should consider work where I can for sure get a paycheck. But at the end of the day, I loved what I was doing. The passion is what overwhelmed me most. I really wanted to make sure that I was involving myself in a business where I can teach and where I can connect with people. And this is the best way for me to do it. So I fully believe that if you're going to go into this, you have to know your why. For me, my why was every morning I wake up, and it's my team leader. So I have a team leader. We were just talking about this, and it's so important. And many people don't understand that. And when we were in the green room before, I told you about an instance where a young lady was unable to tell me her why. And when I mentioned to her why she should understand her why, she was upset. She had become upset with me. But I find that if you don't understand your why, you're going to give up. It won't work for you. It won't be the situation like this gentleman said before. It will not work for you because you don't know why you're doing it. You don't understand the purpose behind this enterprise that you're pursuing. Like, why would you take on something just because? Why do we do what we do? And I think every morning I wake up, one of the first assignments that I was given as a new agent was to write down the 5 most important things to me. What are the most important things to me in my life? And every morning I wake up and I look at those things. And it's a reminder for me to get up and do what I have to do. Because here's the biggest thing about being an agent or an independent contractor, right? Nobody tells you got to get up. Nobody tells me I have to wake up every morning at 7 o'clock to get up and go make money. I'm not punching a clock.
Okay.
There's absolutely no one telling me I have to get up. I have to make that decision. I have to be disciplined enough to say, Princess, you got to get up because you have to do this today. Because let's be real, Miss Paulette and Cullen. I do not. I can get up and decide that I am not going to work today. But that decision is going to affect me 30 days from now.
Ouch.
Yeah, ramifications.
That decision, and then if I decide not to work the whole week, if I decide to just take off this whole week, that is going to affect me 90 days from now, right? So I have to always understand that my mindset every single day that I wake up has to be on my why, right? Why are you doing this, Princess? Well, here are the 5 reasons right here. These are my 5 reasons. So I look at that every single morning before I do my devotion because it's so important for me to remember why I do what I do. That is important.
Yeah.
Okay. If I can tell anybody anything, know why. Know why you're doing. If you're going to get into real estate, know why, because you're not going to make a quick dollar. You're not going to make money in a week. That's just not how the process goes. Know and understand your why. 2 weeks later, you're looking for a paycheck, it's not there because you just started 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to make sure that you understand, like, okay, I know what's coming. I know what to expect. And this is why I'm going to stick it out. So why are you sticking it out? You got to know that.
And I love that you said that. And here's why, because there's nothing wrong with making money. But after a while, especially if you're good at what you do, you're going to make money anyway. So I also found something else to be very true, even with what we're doing with the Brownstone and Brownstone Worldwide and being in this media space. It's really interesting how long we've been doing this. But what I will say is, if somebody told me once, and listen very closely to this, do what you love, and everything else will take care of itself.
Absolutely.
Mm.
I'm gonna
So that sounds like your mantra.
Yes, ma'am. Because I don't worry about where my next check is coming from because I understand my value. Right. I understand that the people in my space are going to want to work with me. I'm going to get business because I'm valuable. That's just what it is. Right? I tell clients all the time, you have to know your value. You have to be able to articulate your value, and you have to be able to show your value. Value never goes out of style.
Wow.
That's good stuff.
So
that is good right there.
If you are working, if I know I'm going to make money because I'm valuable. That's
Boom.
it.
That's it.
So where's your book? Where's the book?
Right. Right. Where's your book, girl? Listen, listen. That was it right there.
I learned all of this.
Yes.
And I listen now. I'm just like to talk. Like I told you guys before, this is new for me because I like to listen to other people. I like to hear what people have to say. I like to read what other people are saying. And I think too many people are talking and not enough people are listening. Everybody has an opinion on something. Everybody thinks their word is fact, when in actuality, everybody's just out, spitting their opinions, which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. But your opinion is not fact. And the problem is, like, it's just, I wish that the wrong people are talking. That's what it is. The wrong people are talking.
Exactly.
A lot of people, there are more people who should be speaking up, should be actually commanding rooms. And it's just a lot of times it's the wrong people. So I personally don't like to do stuff like this because I like to be quiet and listen. Because I used to be that person that thought I knew everything and was saying the wrong thing. I don't ever want to be that person ever in my life again.
I can't even imagine you saying anything. What? Because let me just tell you the amount of nuggets and value that you have brought to our community today, right? Like, even for you to say, knowing your worth and understanding your value. I think another big thing that I have experienced, even as a business owner myself, and watching other people in the same space that we're in as growing and burgeoning entrepreneurs looking to carve our way. I find a lot of people that have this imposter syndrome that is just grating away at the very essence of their desire and drive every single day. Now, we human. It's just us in here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about that. What about that stinking thinking? How often do you experience it? Let's just keep it 100. And how do you combat that as a business owner?
Oh my goodness, I journal. I journal everything. So I'm gonna be really honest. I do. There are times where I'm like, man, princess, because I'm a little obsessed with the Enneagram. I'm a type 1 on the Enneagram, so I'm a perfectionist. I like to do things right. I think I said this already. I like to do things ethically. I want to do things the right way always. So I'm always over analyzing every little thing that I do. And I have sometimes that comes where I'm insulting myself, which I am working on. Because I'm saying, why would you? That was dumb. And I'm training myself to not speak that way about myself, right? Princess, you are not dumb. Yes, you may have made an error, but you figured this piece out. So I write out positive things about myself. We're teaching this to I didn't mention this, but I also coach basketball. And so we're teaching our girls.
Look at that.
Yes, we're teaching our girls to think positively about themselves and speak mantras that are uplifting themselves, because a lot of kids in this day and age are, they're comparing themselves to everyone and everything. And so they're really down on themselves. So we're teaching them to write out, what do I love about myself? I am powerful. I am strong. I am mighty. I am this, I am capable. I am smart, right? Writing those things out and reminding yourself, and then actually speaking them out loud. It's something that I do constantly. And if you can't tell from this conversation, I am a believer in God, and everything that I do starts with Him and how He sees me. So I go to Him too, and I pray and I say, Lord, forgive me for the negative speak, and help me to remember to encourage myself as you do, right? And He gives me that peace in that instant, like, all right, you got this. So when I go to speak poorly about myself, or when I want to say, man, you suck today, like even just and we use that so so simply. We don't really mean it, but we don't realize how much our body feels that. Our body feels those things ourselves. And then I also affirm for speaking things into existence. So no, princess, you don't suck. You are amazing. You are a problem solver. You figure things out. You'll get this done. Right. So I speak positively into myself. I journal about everything that happens and I reflect. And I just try my hardest to make sure that I speak positivity into my life as much as possible.
I love that.
I've known Princess for a while. I think she's always been a great role model. She's always been that person that is if she put her mind to it, she's always going to be the one that's going to obtain her goals. What would you tell that young little black girl that's looking at you that wants to be you? What would you tell them?
Oh my goodness. I think the first thing I would tell her is, Princess, even at 25 years old, didn't recognize or understand her own worth or value. I would never have been able to say what I said to you guys just 5 short minutes ago. 5 years ago. Not 5 years ago. How old am I? Oh, Lord, I thought I was
Whatever it is, you don't look it.
No, I was going to say.
Everybody, okay, y'all can believe I'm 30. So I would tell myself that I am worthy. I am beautiful. That's another thing. I didn't think I was beautiful. A lot of those things matter when you don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel good about a lot of things that you do.
Yes. So
just telling myself that you are worthy, you're valuable, you're beautiful, you're important, you matter. That's what I would tell myself. I would tell myself that every single day. That's every single day. I wouldn't miss a day.
At all. I heard that. Listen, I'm going to put your information back up on the screen so that our audience and those folks who are going to be seeing this over and over and over again will have an opportunity to get in touch with you. So are you licensed in just Wisconsin, or is someone else going to be able to reach out to you for support in seeking real estate in other areas?
No, ma'am. I am solely licensed in Wisconsin right now. I do plan to change that within the next couple of years, though.
Okay, very good. That's awesome. So we'll be able to seek you out. Awesome. So you guys, there's her information right there. princessjones.exprealty.com. And you are licensed in Wisconsin. So for my Wisconsin folks, we know y'all listening, because anytime Cullen come on the air, they see his face. They tuning in. I'm just letting you know. I don't know. I always call him I've been calling him the Pied Piper for years, because I don't care where Cullen is, somebody is going to be like, oh, that's Cullen. He's friendly. I like him. He's not my friend. So one of the things that I want to thank you for today is stopping by the Brownstone to spend some time with us and to share with us your truth about being a business owner in this space that we're currently in, and being a Black entrepreneur, doing what you do, and being a Black woman with all of the challenges that we are facing. And that's no cut on anybody else. I can only speak for my truth, and I too am a Black woman. Okay. Yeah. So I think that this was much needed. Hearing you say, know your value. That is a beautiful statement in and of itself. And I think what happens a lot of times is we do free way too much. And we let our brown skinned cousins get under our skin. Sis, go ahead and give me a hookup. I need a hookup. I need this. I need that. And we sitting around trying to figure out how we're going to pay our bills, because we've exhausted ourselves, because people are looking for us to do the hookup thing. And unfortunately, one of the things hopefully through this, we're going to stop doing is we are going to stop, listen closely, y'all, trying to get hookups from Black business owners. That's why we walking around here with our windows and stuff busted out. We can't pay for stuff to get done because we keep trying to give free service. And we know as long as they expect that from us, that's what they will always expect. So one of the biggest takeaways I've gotten from this is know your value. You are amazing.
Oh, thank you, Miss Paulette. And I appreciate you guys so much for having me today. You knocked the nervousness right out of me.
Good. I told you, listen, take it like this. You can't see nobody. It's just
that's all.
Cullen, I'm gonna let you lead out and let everyone know what's coming up next.
Well, first of all, Princess, I really appreciate you I know time is money, time is valuable for you. I know you're very busy and you chose to humor me and come on our show. So I really appreciate you. I knew it was going to be good. I knew I've watched you for a long time. I know what you're about. And I always said, once we get started, you were one of the first people I wanted to get on the show.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel so good.
Yeah, because
is my love language.
There
So.
I love it.
So just having that support, you always have. We will always have support for you, and hopefully, definitely you can support us. And I feel that as a Black business owner, we can support each other and continue to see us thrive and grow, because that's the only way we're gonna make it. And I just applaud you for everything that you're doing and what you're gonna do, because this ain't it. I can see great things for you in the future. So. And I'm gonna say I know her. I'm gonna write her. I'm gonna get her a book, and I want her to write her name in it. You have to say book, right? You got to put it out there. You got to put it out there.
Yes.
But I
appreciate
you coming on, and we haven't heard the last of you, and hopefully we'll be able to have you on our show again.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, this is it for this edition of Brownstone's Best Business Interviews. We're officially going to start calling it the Brownstone's Best Business Review. Tonight, we've had Princess Jones on with us. Go ahead and check us out at brownstoneworldwide.com. The official launch doesn't happen until September 5th, and that's our soft launch, so we can get your eyes and ears on it. And then lastly, go ahead and download the KCCR My Brownstone Living, the app, so you can listen in to great shows like Brownstone's Best Business Review, every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also Cullen's Corner every Thursday live on YouTube, and the replay, of course, available on KCCR Radio, the Brownstone, on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are so, once again, appreciative for you coming to hang out with us. Since there's nothing else, we have exhausted ourselves tonight. We want to thank you. And you guys, we'll see you on the next episode of Brownstone's Best Business Review. Have a great night.